episode 94 of the This Old Knit podcast. I am your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry, Instagram, and Pinterest, and you can find show notes for this episode and all previous episodes on the correspondingly numbered thread in the This Old Knit podcast group. So this is probably my last podcast from this house, and I'm actually doing this very off the cuff because we're gonna go have lunch with my dad later today, and this is the last weekend in our little yellow house. So I do have a lot of acquisitions though that I want to share with you, because some of them I would like to wind up and cast on for the drive, because we'll have a 13-hour drive. For those of you just joining me, thank you so much and welcome. And I am in the process of moving my family to Connecticut. We currently live in Central Ohio. So yeah, the movers come next week to pack all of our stuff and load it in the truck, and then we will be moving that next weekend. We've timed it pretty well, so we should only have a few days that we'll need to be in the hotel before we close on our home in Connecticut, and I'm very, very excited. We love it a lot, and it has 1.4 acres. It has a lot of forest on it and more space, so it'll be a nice upgrade for us from that perspective. I'll have an office where I can work from home, and then we have a second living room, which is a formal living room, but I will probably use it for a crafting room and also crafting area for the children. So I'll get like a cutting table for my sewing and have shelving for all of my yarn, and my big purple couch will go there. So it'll be a really nice cozy place, and that will probably be the new podcasting location. So I will do some vlogs. I will vlog after we get all of our stuff packed up and out of the house before we close everything up. I want to take video of just the house empty, and then I will take video of the home in Connecticut before we move all of our things in, because we'll do final walkthrough. So I will video that, and then I will share both of those things with you for those who are interested. For those who are not, just knitting content. You can just enjoy the podcast and the knitting content only. So I haven't sent out all of the prizes for the first quarter Stash Your Shelf Challenge. The two people that won, I know them quite well, so I don't think they'll mind waiting a little bit to get their prizes. They're both international, and I just haven't had a chance to get to the post office. I have to fill out customs forms and that kind of thing, so it just takes a little bit longer to get those prize packages out, but I'm happy to do it, of course, and I hope that the prizes will be worth the wait. So as far as knitting goes, I was in Connecticut working for a week, the first full week of June. So I did get quite a bit of knitting time whilst traveling both ways. It takes me about 6 to 7 hours to actually get there from here because there are no direct flights. And then on my way back, I actually had my flight get canceled. Or it was actually very delayed due to mechanical issues with the plane, and so I would have missed my connection, so they actually rerouted me, but it took a couple of hours for that to happen. So long story short, I got a lot of knitting time on my sweater, and I actually met a very nice jazz musician named Nat Reeves, and he's a bass player in a jazz band, so like the large stand-up bass. So he was very, very nice, and we talked for quite a while, just about a wide range of topics. I'm pretty friendly, so if I'm stuck in a place for quite a while, I'll find somebody to chat with. I'll make a friend. So he and I were talking about a lot of stuff, so it was really nice. But yeah, so let me get to the knitting now. The main thing that I worked on while I was traveling, which I have not shown at all on the podcast yet, I believe, is my So Faded sweater, and it is out of 4 colors of Bad Wolf Girl Studios yarn. I just keep thinking Meg's yarn, but Bad Wolf Girl Studios on Etsy is the shop, and I think all of these colors are actually in stock right now in her shop. Meg had a trunk show recently, and I feel terrible because she didn't make any money on the trunk show, but her yarn is divine. It's awesome. You should go check it out, and you could get all of these colors yourself. So the first color that I used is called His Owl, and it's supposed to be Hedwig inspired. And then I faded into Gringotts. And then I faded into Padfoot. I started to get some pooling here. I actually don't mind it, but I did work from both sides of the ball a little bit to kind of break up some of it so I wouldn't get a straight up flashing. Sorry, it's flashing, not pooling, when it does the weird little lightning bolt. And then the last color is the Leaky Cauldron. So it's all creams, whites, and grays, other than the Leaky Cauldron starts to introduce some orange. Originally, I was going to fade into this color and then into the pumpkin pasties color, but the pumpkin pasties is like neon orange. It's awesome, but it's going to be something different. Now I have weird lighting. So anyway, I am done with the body. I love how it fits. I added some waist shaping. So that is not in the pattern. It's just called for working straight from the time that you separate for the sleeves and down to the end. So I just did like down to the fullest part of my bust, and then I started decreasing. I think I decreased like every 7th round. I did 4 or 5 sets of decreases. I worked straight for 2 inches, and then I increased back up to the original stitch count the same way every 7 rows. But at the very end, it was getting pretty long, so I only did 4 rows here and then did my last set of increases. And then I think I worked maybe a couple of rows, and then I went right into the ribbing. So I used a size 5 for the whole thing. I did not swatch for it, but most of the time for a sweater, a fingering weight sweater, size 5 gives me the gauge that I need, the gauge that the pattern calls for, and I had already started a So Faded with my Star Wars pack, which has some major flashing here. I don't mind it on the waist part, but I don't want it across my chest. I need to draw extra attention to this. So I'm going to have to rip it back all the way to the sleeves and then work from both ends of the ball. And I just did not have the heart to do it at that point. So I already knew I was going to get gauged with those needles. I don't recommend not swatching for sweaters. Don't do what I do. And then I went down 2 needle sizes for the ribbing. So this is in a US 3.0, which I think is a 4.5 millimeter. Don't quote me on that, but size 5 US, size 3 US. So 2 sizes down for the ribbing. So I think what I'm going to do next is probably pick up the stitches and knit the collar neckband, just because I'm not going to use any more of this color for the sleeves, and then I won't have to carry that ball around in the bag. So it's being housed in this bag, which I made. It's a gigantic bag. So this has 4 full skeins of yarn in it, and it was holding my sweater. It had a notebook in it, and it had the pattern and just everything. It was huge. I did a ribbon. And on the inside I repeated this fabric from the bottom. So it's Wizard newsprint, I believe from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I have not seen that movie yet. We own it, but I haven't taken the time to sit down and watch it. So anyway, I am so happy with this sweater. It's going to match so much stuff. I'm thinking I'm going to sew a skirt to match it. Maybe a zinnia skirt or a beignet skirt. Both of those are Colette patterns. We shall see. Kristen said that the zinnia skirt is a little tricky on the pleats, so Let me wait on that one. That won't be till we've moved. I've kind of sworn off sewing until we've moved. The other thing that I worked a lot on, which is being housed in my rainbow llama cordon bag, my Give 'em has outgrown this bag, so it is not the Give 'em, is the Surprise Party Shawl by Helen Stewart. So this, I don't think it was a mystery pattern. I believe she made it for some kind of festival. Joshua's gonna come up and find me in a minute. So it's a half pie shawl with some minis. Yep, I'm upstairs, bud.
Oh, I was looking everywhere.
We're looking everywhere for me.
But
Man.
I break it half for person. That wasn't not, but it's going to fight the lion.
The Injur's gonna fight the lion. Whoa, don't step on my yarn, buddy. I know you think you're so cute.
Showa. Me, Showa.
You are Showa. You wanna come sit on my lap so I can show my stuff?
Okay.
I'm almost done. Okay. So here's my surprise party shawl. I wanted to do it in rainbows. What do you think of the rainbows, buddy? You like my rainbows?
Yeah.
It's pretty, huh? Okay. And the main color is cupcake sprinkles. Sprinkles by No Makers.
Where is it?
It's a tweed base, so it is in the Party Gnome base. And then my mini skeins are Mothy and the Squid. It was a rainbow pack.
I want to see.
And I think I've got 5 more, but these are the 5 I picked because I wanted a true rainbow. So I love that it makes like an actual arch of a rainbow. So let's come closer. And they're very sherbety colors.
I can't see. I want to see.
So I've completed the first section, and then I'm trying to come up here so they can see the stitches and you. Okay. And then I have a fun little stitch marker by Little Bitty Delights. Let me show my little coffee cup, buddy. It's a little latte. Okay. I think I need to move to a bigger cord though, because this is already like outgrowing it. And those are Chagu red lace needles, which I really enjoy. That's my first pair ever of them, and I like them. Okay. So that's that one. And then I have a half object, which is a sock for Megwin. So this is in the Gummy Bears colorway. You want to hold it up, buddy? Gummy Bears. Can you show the glittery heel?
There's heel.
There's the heel.
It does something.
I didn't do the toe in that color, but this one's done, and it's in the vanilla bean sock pattern.
Sock for me. You make your sock?
I haven't cast on the second one yet, but I did cast on a pair of socks for my husband using this yarn. So this is a Patton's Croy. I don't remember what the colorway is, but it's one of the newer ones. And it knits up really cool. Kind of speckly. And that stitch marker is from Shauna, who's the dyer behind Adelaide Cottage. It came in a Gilmore Girls collaboration. I think she made that one. And that's also in a cupcakes bag that I sewed with some fat quarters from Tuesday morning. Okay, and so that brings me to acquisitions. Don't touch my camera. Thank you. So very, very sad news, if you haven't heard. Amanda, the dyer behind No Makers, who was the first real indie dyer that I was a huge, huge fan of, and that I started really stashing and regularly buying their yarn, is going to be closing up shop at the end of July. And I'm super sad that I won't be able to get her yarn anymore. But very happy for her that she's pursuing other opportunities. So if you are a fan of No Makers and had not heard this yet, go and grab something now, because what she has in the shop is all that there will be. So I grabbed some stuff. I have some colors that sadly I will not be able to get, like Birdie Bots, every flavored bean, or Birdie Bots. I always wanted it, I never bought it, now I'll never get it. Maybe I'll find it on D-Stash somewhere. But I was able to get some of the other things, that's me, and you, that I wanted. So, but obviously I'm on a budget right now because we're buying a house and moving and all of that stuff. So, what are you doing, weirdo? Okay, can I finish showing the yarn?
Yeah.
I feel warm, buddy. So I got what I could get on my budget. So I've always wanted to make a sweater for him out of the colorway Gnome Some Dove on her tweed base, which is the scruffy gnome base. Oh my gosh, Joshua, you're so crazy. Don't lick the camera, buddy. So I had one skein in my stash. I've got part of another skein that I had left over from my husband's cowl, and she had some doppelganger sets in her shop. And I love the gold contrast she had paired with it. So what I'm going to do is, don't touch the screen, buddy. Stop.
You're me.
Okay.
You're me, phone. You're me, phone.
Okay. I'm going to do the Where's the Spider cardigan, not cardigan, sweater for him in Gnome Some Dove, and then I'm going to do the neckband, the cuffs, and the bottom band in this contrasting gold color. This color is the most beautiful color. It's one of my favorites
I
ever.
do have some tape, Mommy.
Tape?
Yeah, tape.
Go down and ask Daddy, because I got a bunch of rolls of tape, okay?
Roll tape.
Yeah. I got a bunch of Scotch tape. No, they're in a bag, but you need to ask Daddy for help so that he can get one for you. Tell him I said it was okay. Which he won't believe because you lie and tell him everything's okay. I just love the chocolates and blues and golds, and there's a little bit of green in there, like olive green. It's just a really, really beautiful combination. It's going to look really nice on him. So that's what I'm going to make with this.
Dad said no.
Oh, okay. What are you going to do with the tape, buddy?
I want to make a present.
You want to make a present? How are you going to make a present?
With paper.
Oh, with paper?
Yeah.
Why don't you get the paper and make a drawing first, and when I'm done, I'll help you with the tape. Okay?
Peter can go there for me.
Oh my gosh. You're just looking even more sad because you're making yourself sad looking at your sad self. Do you see how sad it makes us? All right. I'm back. I had to set him up because he wants to make a present for my dad. Okay, so yeah, that's plan number one. And then number two is a really, really pretty skein. I was originally wanting to make a fade or a shawl or something with all of her planets and the sun colorways. She was sold out of most of those, so I can't do that plan. And honestly, I probably couldn't afford to buy that many skeins of her yarn right now. But Saturn is my very favorite of the planets that she dyed. So here it is. It is this really light mauve color, cream color, dark olivey green, and kind of a lighter green. I got it on the sparkle base, and it's just beautiful. It's so gorgeous. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. But again, this is like a really great colorway. I've never seen anyone dye anything quite like this. It's very Amanda. So there you go. Saturn on Sparkle Gnome. And the last bit that I got 4 more skeins. This was my original order, and then I went back and got the gnome some Dove and Saturn. So this is Glow Cloud. I've always wanted this color from her and never bought it, so I went ahead and went for it. Of course it had to be on Sparkle. So it's magenta, hot pink, purple, dark raspberry colors. It's just amazing. So on the Sparkle Gnome base. Oh, hail the Glow Cloud. That one. A second skein of Chai Chai. I have one. I wanted to use it for a sweater. Yeah, bud?
Look at picture of Poppy.
Show me.
Ruin it. Poppy's going to be sad.
Well, let's just tape it.
Tape it?
Yeah.
But look. Yes.
Here.
Yes. This. Okay. It's sticky.
Because it's tape.
Tape? What about that wrap?
Well, hang on, bud. One thing at a time. You gotta go slow.
You see, I gotta work on it upstairs.
No, because all your supplies are downstairs. You got your markers, your crayons, you got all the stuff down there. Okay?
But I don't need to art it.
I want you to art it. You can't just give him a piece of blue paper. Do something special that makes him think of you. Okay?
Okay.
Go make something nice. Here's your tape.
How about you use the markers right here?
Okay, if you're going to be neat about it. Anyway. Chai Chai. This one's on Bungalow Gnome. My other one is on House Gnome, but that's okay. So it's just lots of really nice neutrals. So this one's a BFL base. And then I had to get Dobby. Because again, this is a color I've always wanted, but I've never gotten. I always go for like the new ones she's dyeing and not ones that have been in her catalog for a long time. Dobby's been something she's been dyeing for years. But I've always wanted a pair of socks out of the Dobby colorway. So this will be socks. I think probably my cup of tea socks, because that is one of my favorite patterns ever. And, you know, Dobby is a house elf, so I could imagine him serving Harry and his friends tea and other various things. So this is Dobby, again on Sparkle Gnome. That is one thing, if you want to go and get stuff, like the bases are selling out, so you may or may not be able to get it on the base you want, but all of Amanda's bases are gorgeous and amazing, so you won't be sorry. And then the very last one, this is a newer colorway that she dyed, I think last year, but it's poppies. So it's all of the different colors of poppies, and then the green for the leaves, And the black speckles for like poppies have those, the part where the stamen is black inside. So it's got these black speckles all over it. Oh my gosh. Just in your face. I love it. I love it so much. And this colorway, when she came out with it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And I just had never gotten it. So now I have it. I think it would probably make some really fun socks. Or hat. Oh my gosh. That would be an amazing hat. So maybe it'll be a sockhead hat, because that would be a nice pop-up color in the wintertime. And then I have 2 of these now. So I'm debating if I'm going to have this be the Q2 prize for the Stash or Shelf Challenge. I think I might have it be. So let me know what you think, if this is something you would like to win. So she makes needle gauges with you know, laser cutter. She also has buttons, and you know, she makes a lot of wood stuff. So I bought one for me, and then I bought a second one potentially for a prize. So it's this really, it's super thick, very high quality. It's only US needle sizes, so for those who use metric, I did not get the metric one. I don't think this one came in metric, but it's an octopus with a monocle. Oh my god. Can you even? It's adorable.
Is it upstairs?
He came in a bubble wrap pouch, so he'll be safe getting to his destination. And that was my No Makers order. And it came with a little ruler, which is a thank you card, but I love that it's useful, because sometimes when dyers include like their business cards, I feel bad because I don't keep them. I keep them till I show it on the podcast, and then I don't keep them anymore. But Amanda's I actually keep, because you can always use a ruler for stuff. So I just shoved this into one of my bags, and I always have a ruler. So that was my No Makers haul. And then I'm gonna have to pause because I need to go look up. I won an Instagram contest, and I need to go look up who I won it from. Alright. So as I was saying, I won an Instagram contest. I then realized we lost power last night, and the fish tank light was on a timer, so it's all messed up now, so it wasn't on. So from Jack Soki, I won a skein of yarn. So she put a little tag on it, and her name is Kim, so I follow her on Instagram, and she was doing a giveaway of just a yarn from her stash. So I won a skein of a homespun house yarn. So this is the Harry Potter yarn of the month for May 2018. It's the High Inquisitor. So of course based on Dolores Umbridge and her beautiful pink bows. She's a really creepy character, but I love the pinks. So yeah, I will enjoy knitting with Molly's yarn, and Molly is moving to America, so definitely will be adding more to my stash. I just couldn't afford to be part of some of the Harry Potter clubs when she was in Germany, but now I may do it. So that's that one. And then Shannon, who's the Yarn at Home mom. So she was having a Memorial Day sale, and so I bought 2 skeins from her. My intention is to make these into a puntilla sweater, which is a Joji Locatelli pattern, but Rachel from the Hey Sister podcast, who is Hey Rachel Makes on Instagram and I think on Ravelry, she made one that's pink on this part. It was their yarn, the Hey Sister Yarn Co. yarn, up until she divided for the sleeves, and then she did stripes the rest of the way. So I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to pair these with my Wool and Vine Yarn Solstice colorway from the pack that I got. Okay, well, don't use your mouth to open those. Oh, from the tape? Okay, well, okay, just do your coloring, buddy. I'll help you with the tape. So anyway, I'm going to pair them with the one skein from the Impressionist shawl pack that I got, because I just think it would be beautiful with these, and then I will do something else with the pink and the purple, or maybe I'll throw in a different neutral skein. I'm not sure if I'm going to make that shawl, to be honest. The Impressionist MCal shawl. It's a crescent shawl, and I don't know. I could take or leave crescent shawls. I feel like I prefer triangular shawls, so I may use those skeins to make a triangular shawl. But anyway, Shannon. So these are in the Raining Lorelei colorway, and it is on her Hardy sock base, which I've never tried before, which is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And look at that pink. It's so pretty. It's gonna make a beautiful sweater. So mine will probably be 3/4 sleeves, just because I don't have the yardage for the full sleeves, which is what Rachel did, but I usually prefer 3/4 sleeves anyway, because it lets you wear the sweater for longer. So it's a gorgeous pink with just some speckles of deeper pink. I love them. So that is what I'm going to do with those. And then Shannon did a collaboration with Little Bitty Delights for Gilmore Girls theme thing, and I've gotten all of her Gilmore Girls themed, like, clubby collaboration stuff, so I had to get it. And it is from the episode where Lorelei has to spend the day with her father. He's driving her mother crazy, and so he comes over and he just goes off about grapefruit and how it's so healthy and she needs to eat grapefruit. So she's trying to find a grapefruit that she can eat, and she says to Luke, "I need a grapefruit that tastes like a donut." And so that inspired the charm from Little Bitty Delights. So it is a grapefruit donut. It's like the pinky color of grapefruit, and it's got this amazing glaze on it. Just the attention to detail is just awesome. And then it pairs with the yarn from Shannon. And this is the grapefruit that tastes like a donut. It's so pretty. And I probably will make socks out of this. I'm not particularly feeling the sock mojo right now, but it'll come back. It ebbs and flows. Again, this is on Hardy sock, so just like the Raining Lorelei. So I'm gonna get to experience that base a lot. And then Shannon totally surprised me, and she threw in 2 skeins of yarn for me. And these are both colorways that I literally have had in my cart, taken out of my cart, put in my cart. So she could not have picked better colors to surprise me with. Thank you so much, Shannon. You are sweet and wonderful and an amazingly talented dyer, and I love your stuff. So I've already sent a message to her separately. But this one is Paris Needs No Embellishment. Of course, representing the amazing Paris Geller, who's one of my favorite characters from Gilmore Girls. So it is a deep rose with gold speckles all over it. I had a mini that I put into my glitter blanket, and it knit up so beautifully. So I can't wait to knit this into something too. And the last one is a sock set, and this is my favorite scene in Gilmore Girls. And I'm not going to spoil it for you if you've not seen Gilmore Girls, because, yeah, it's like the culmination of all the things that you wish would happen. So it's called Will You Just Stand Still? And it's got creams and mauves and dark blues, and then the skein, that's the mini skein for the heels, toes, cuffs, is a deep mauve color. So pretty. So pretty. So that was my Yarn at Home Mom surprise package.
The card!
I literally was like, did I accidentally buy more things than I thought? Because I'm pretty out of it with the moving. Hey, can you move it away, buddy, so they can actually see it? All they're going to see is blue from there. You want to come back here and show it? Okay, hang on. Hang on. Okay, show your card. So pretty. What'd you do with it? What'd you make it? Let me see. Let me see inside. Wow, it's tape and marker. It's a mixed media collage. I love it.
Yeah,
Mixed media.
Yeah.
Do you want me to fold it?
Yeah, meal. Yeah, meal.
Do you want to draw something on the outside, or do you feel like this is done? Does it feel done to you? Or do you want more? Draw some more here.
I want to draw outside.
Draw outside?
Uh-huh.
Okay, maybe in the car. We're going to go soon, okay?
Okay.
I have a couple more things to show, and then I'm all done.
I want to see.
All right. Okay, I do have a little bit more. My apologies. Things are not usually so acquisition heavy, but for a couple weeks there, I forgot to show stuff, or obviously I got a bunch of no makers stuff. But these came like almost a month ago, and I just had packed them up before we had the house ready to show, so I didn't want to dig them out of the box to show them. But they're sewing patterns. So Colette had a 50% off sale on their patterns, on their printed patterns, which I actually prefer printed patterns. Whoa, you're gonna fall off, bud. To PDF patterns. I don't like cutting and taping and all that. I prefer to have a standard pattern. That's how I learned to sew. So yeah, that's just my preference. So I got 5 patterns of theirs that I've had on my list for a while. So the first one is Wren. This is intended for jersey fabric. I love both versions, the sleeveless and the one with sleeves. I'll probably make the one with sleeves for work just because then I'll be able to wear it. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, they've seen your card, bud. Okay, the second one is Dahlia. And this one is just a simple silhouette that could be in cotton, chambray.
I want yoke.
I like it.
I want yoke.
You like it?
What's her name?
I don't know. Dahlia? Should we call her Dahlia?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that one. Penny is a shirt dress, kind of, but a gathered shirt dress. So it's got buttons on the top portion, fitted collar.
Fall.
Don't fall.
I did say fall. No.
Okay. The zinnia skirt, which I mentioned earlier. So it's a skirt that buttons down the front. It's got pleats. I would like to add pockets to it, which I think Kristen added pockets to hers. Kristen from the Bull and Vine Yarns podcast. We chat quite often, and she is like my my sewing phone a friend. So if I get stuck, I'll be like messaging her and going, "Oh my God, so weird," or just commiserating. But she gives me the heads up if something is a little complicated. And then Autumn, who's Coddington, suggested the violet blouse. She said it's one of her favorites. So I got the violet blouse too. Which looks like a nice basic shirt for work. It's really pretty. And that's it. So that is pretty much everything that I have to share with you guys for this week. I'm going to go and put all of this crap away so that it then can be packed up next week to go to Connecticut. So, like I said, this is the last podcast that I will be doing from this house. Look out for the blog if you're interested in.
I still want to talk.
Okay, buddy. If you're interested in our moving adventures, look for the blog, and my children will be more heavily featured in the blog because they're around all the time. And yeah, otherwise I will see you guys in a couple of weeks, and it will be from a new location. So thank you all for joining us, me and my co-host Joshua this week. And until next time, spend some time doing the things that you love, and I will talk to you soon. All right, can you wave bye, guy? Can you wave bye?
Bye.
Bye.